Good evening, I'm meteorologist Rod Childers, and we are back on the Action News 5 digital desk once again with a weather update. It is a first alert weather day. Yes, snow moved in this afternoon shortly after 1 o'clock, making its way into the Memphis metro, and it continues to fall tonight. Check it out, a first alert weather day. Indeed, we've also got a winter storm warning in effect for the entire coverage area, including Memphis and Shelby County. It's a winter wonderland out there. This is a look from our High 5 camera in Midtown. As we're looking to the west, that is Union Avenue with a coat of snow. Last hour, we checked in with Joyce Peterson, who was down on Beale Street. 3/4 of an inch of snow had fallen there. We had just about a half an inch here at Midtown, but I think by the time it's all said and done, most of it's going to end up with about 2 to 4 inches of snow. However, parts of northern Mississippi, you could be on track to see more than 5 inches of snow. We'll take a closer look at that in just a moment. Let's bring you up to speed on where we are and what's going on. We are tracking our first major winter storm of the season. Snow and sleet have begun. Yeah, there has been sleet, mainly in North Mississippi, but it's all snow right now, and that snow is accumulating. We're also dealing with bitter cold and extreme wind chills in the single digits. Clouds and radar imagery with a good handle on how things have played out. Light snow for the most part in northeastern Arkansas and northwest Tennessee. Those areas you see in purple and dark blue, that's where the heavier snow is falling from Memphis south and into North Mississippi. So that's why I think we're going to see some pretty decent snowfall accumulations before it's all said and done. Now this first round moving through and should taper off as we get into the evening and overnight hours, but there's still going to be some moisture streaming in from the south and southwest. And I think, as a matter of fact, by the time we get into the early morning hours of Monday, we're going to see a little more making its way in to bring another burst of snow for the early morning hours. First alert Doppler radar, light snow mainly to our north and west. But then you get to Memphis and really along and south of 40. That's where we're finding some decent snowfall right now, and it's continuing to come on down the area. I've got mixed minus in my ear. I'm not sure what happened there. So here's what's going on. And I was telling Jacob, our producer, that high pressure is just to our north. It is driving that cold Arctic air right into the mid-south. That's coming in from Canada and mixing in with this moisture that's streaming in from the southwest, all behind a cold front. So that's where the activity is right now. And it looks like as we get on into the overnight hours and through the day tomorrow, the cold is really going to be an issue. Yeah, the snow is going to create some big problems with travel, but the cold's going to create a whole other set of problems, and a wind chill advisory in effect from 8 until 1 Monday afternoon. Winds out of the north right now anywhere from about 8 to 12 to 15 miles per hour. We've got a 12-mile-an-hour wind in Memphis. Temperatures, they're in the low, mid, and upper range of the teens. We're at 14 degrees in Memphis. It's 19 in Oxford. The coldest air temperature, 11 in Wynn, Blytheville, and Dyersburg. But you factor in the winds, it feels like it's -5 in Blytheville. Feels like it's -4 in Wynn. The wind a little lighter in Dyersburg, so it only feels like 3. In Memphis, we've got a wind chill of 0, or that feels like temperature. And over the next 12 hours, we may see that dip to -1 in Memphis and hover right around the single digits through the overnight hours and well into the early morning hours. If you're going to be out tonight, it is essential that you bundle up multiple layers, and especially clothing that will help to eliminate that wind effect. You don't want to wear thin clothing because that cold air will cut right through you. We're going to see snow continue, 90% chance of that. Should fall to about 14 in Memphis, so I think our temperature is pretty much going to hold steady. From now until about 8, we're likely going to see a little bit of a surge by 10 o'clock. A little warmer air coming in aloft, so that may allow temperatures to rebound a couple of degrees. By midnight, though, looks like the better chance for snow is going to be along and south of the 40 corridor and primarily into northeast Mississippi. We may even get a little break here in the Memphis metro, but more snow will start to make its way into the area by the early morning hours, and I think as we get into the sunrise and shortly thereafter tomorrow morning, we're going to have another surge that comes on in from 8 until about midday, blanketing the mid-south. And there could be some pockets of heavier snow, again, along and south of the 40 corridor. That puts Memphis right in the target zone, but good portion of northern Mississippi. By the time it's all said and done, you're going to be digging out before it moves on out on Monday afternoon and evening. Then the cold really settles in. Now, we're looking at anywhere from a dusting to about 2 inches of snow from north of 40 into northeast Arkansas and northwest Tennessee. So the farther north you go, the less snow, but the farther south you go, the higher the amount. And along and south of that 40 corridor, that's where I think we could see the high end of 5 to 7. But I think 2 to 4 is most likely around Memphis and Shelby County. So on average, about 2 to 4. And look, no matter where you are in the Mid-South, you're going to get at least 1 inch of snow. We know that for certain. But again, 2 to 4 inches is most likely. Let me give you some tips here. Here's what you need to know. Snow is accumulating right now as we speak, and that means hazardous driving conditions. Expect icy bridges and overpasses. It is going to be windy throughout with bitter cold and wind chills, temperatures in the teens and 20s. Wind chills will be below 0 for many overnight tonight and tomorrow, and expect travel issues on through Tuesday. And that is why today is a first alert weather day and another first alert for tomorrow. So get the Action News 5 First Alert Weather app. Put it on your smartphone or tablet. It is free for Apple and Android products, and with this bitter cold in place, you're going to have the hour-by-hour temperatures for your specific location, along with that interactive radar right there in the palm of your hand, so you'll know where it is in proximity to you. So that's the advice I have for you. And a look at the forecast. I want to check in with somebody who's out and about in the snow this evening. Our own Kelly Cook is driving around, and that, I do believe, is a live look. Kelly, where are you this evening?
Well, I'll tell you what, we are here on Sam Cooper Boulevard, and we could use a break from this snow, Ron, because it is really starting to pile up on the roadways here. We're traveling along here on Sam Cooper. I will say that it has definitely been treated, and it is passable, but it is still very dangerous. Just about a minute or so before you tossed to me, Ron, we saw the salt truck out on the roadways trying to make sure to keep it, drivable and passable as the snow continues to come down. And I will say it's definitely passable, but you want to slow down. Now, you see this SUV that just passed us? Yeah, we're seeing a lot of that out here, Ron. A lot of people picking it up here on these roadways and traveling pretty quickly. But I tell you what, it is dark out here. It is hard to see this ice and the snow, and it can be dangerous. It has been treated, but you just really want to kind of take your time while making your way on the roadways. Now, before we came out here earlier, Ron, I went into the weather room with you, and I was like, hey, what do you want me to tell the viewers? And just like you mentioned earlier, you said, hey, tell them about the overpasses. So listen, as soon as we hit that overpass here on Sam Cooper Boulevard, you could feel the difference. It was definitely much more slippery, a bit more slick. Just so you know, I am not driving right now. I've got photographer Mike is here driving for us right now, so I can kind of focus and pay attention. But he definitely had to slow down to make sure that we can make it over those overpasses. But we're making our way around the metro Memphis area, keeping eyes on the roadways. Ron, let me send it back to you.
All right, Kelly, be safe and take care out there. Listen, did you see how the snow kind of parted ways there? There was a dry lane, almost clear lane. That's a very dry, powdery snow that's falling. So as traffic passes by it, the winds in the air around it tend to create drifts. But there are still icy patches out there, and as cars travel over accumulated snow, it's going to compact it. It's going to make it icy. It's going to make it very slick, and especially late tonight and on into early tomorrow. So if you don't have to be out tonight, I encourage you to stay home where it is nice, warm, and safe. We're going to have another update for you in about another hour. We'll take another look at the forecast and where we stand on snowfall amounts. We'll talk a little more about what's to come as well and have another live report from you for you from the field. Meantime, stay warm, stay safe, stay at home.